show that the lollipop was named?
Good evening, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Council of the City of Long Beach held Tuesday, December 19th, 2023 at 7 p.m. We'll have a roll call. Councilmember Postoli.
Here.
Councilmember Lester. Councilmember McGinnis.
Present.
Vice President Treston.
Here for the final time.
President Bendo.
Present.
Let the record indicate the presence of Acting City Manager Ron Walsh and Assistant Corporation Counsel Stephen Pamianki. We'll now have a salute to the flag.
Vice President Treston, would you lead us, please?
Absolutely. I pledge allegiance
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our last meeting of the year. Hope everyone that celebrates it had a good Hanukkah, and I guess we'll get going. Let's start with the city manager's report.
Good evening, everybody. So last meeting, we actually announced that the city had received a $70,000 grant to do a parking study. This week, I'd like to announce that the city, through the efforts, actually through FRB, through Patty Bourne in our Economic Development Office, we actually just received a $239,824 award from the United States Department of Justice for safe streets and roads. So basically what this money is for is to do an entire traffic study of the city of Long Beach to try and figure out how we can make improvements for vehicular and pedestrian traffic, our crossings, everything to really try and come up with a comprehensive plan on how to actually move traffic more efficiently and safely through the city. And we're really looking forward to that money hitting us. So it's going to take a few months before the actual award comes through. After that actually comes through, then we'd go through the RFP process of getting a vendor to do the study, and we look forward to those results when they finally come back. So that's some really great news. Dave, you have the pictures? So after a long-awaited time, what you're seeing up on the screen is the newly opened dog park that was finished today. So this is down by the water tower, as you can see. It is complete. It's been actually extended the cement pad there. They put down turf for the dogs' pads. There's a water pump there to actually so the dogs can have water, or they can clean up anything they want to clean up. And it really was a fantastic job done by our Department of Public Works. It's new fencing. It's really very nice, and I encourage everybody to go look at it. It's open from dawn to dusk. And it's basically ready to go. Today we just dropped off a couple of garbage pails for now. There's some benches and some permanent pail structures that will be installed in the next few weeks when they come in. So 2 nice pieces of information here for the city, just to let everybody know what's going on. That concludes the city manager's report.
All right, thank you. And we'll move on to the agenda.
Okay, our first item tonight is a resolution authorizing the Acting City Manager to purchase software services under New York State contract and to transfer funds.
So this particular item is for the fees and services for Microsoft 365, Office 365 software product. There's $27,000 that are in the account. We needed $5,535.82 to actually complete this, and it just keeps us up and running with all of our Microsoft products.
Okay, any questions from the council?
You know there is.
I was just setting you up.
Thank you. Ron, I don't know if you're the right person to ask about this contract.
They can't hear you, Roy.
I'm sorry. Ron, I'm not sure you're the right person to ask. Is Jamie here tonight?
No, he's not here tonight. So I'm relatively familiar with, so you can ask.
When you're talking about the product, the first line, it says VLA Enterprise Office 365 Plan G1 Shared Driver per user monthly.
Mm-hmm. So these are actually licenses. Every person who gets this, it's Office, it's Microsoft Word, it's Excel, that we pay a licensing fee for each person to
Right,
use it.
I understand that, but is it a monthly licensing fee?
Yeah. Unit price per annual. It's an annual, I believe, fee.
For a period of, right here.
Is there a reason it says monthly, or? And I noticed it said that the same thing on the other.
Yeah, it's definitely not $90 per person per month. That's an annual price there, but it's probably that's an annual price.
I have
That's
a,
actually
I have
listed
a,
there.
I have a comment here. In terms of the backup, the subscription is for 270 licenses for a total of $32,907.82. They have $27,000 budgeted in software licensing fees, so they need an additional $5,500 for accounts for new licensing that had to be added during the year for new personnel. A budget transfer for 553282 from the consultant's line will be required.
Yeah, I saw that, and that was the resolution, Karen, but the
So
backup,
that's the answer.
but the backup documentation talks about monthly.
So they
That's-
probably get paid monthly.
There's monthly payments to
It
Microsoft.
is a monthly payment?
It's a monthly
Okay.
payment, but it's about $9 per person, approximately $9 per person per month for our licensing. Yeah. It's all in the backup, but just, it would
Yeah,
take,
no,
it would take,
read the backup, and that's why I asked the question. And then the other question would be, right now, there's free software available, Google Docs, that does a lot of what Microsoft does. Not as extensive, but how many users really need a full, extensive Microsoft?
I don't know exactly what you're asking, and I don't believe
Okay,
that you can use.
You know what, I understand, you know, if you're using Excel and stuff like that, do all of our people use Excel, program on Excel?
So these come in a packaging suite, is the way they come?
Yes, I know, we
So
have
it's
them.
much,
in
much
our
less expensive to buy the suite. You'd pay more money for a single license for Word only than you would for the suite that we get
Right, but-
off the government pricing.
I'm just not quite understanding why we need Word document, to pay for Word documents when there's something like Google Docs, if they're only doing Word documents. And I don't know how many people are only doing Word documents, because there's not much programming.
So the level of the Microsoft product that we use comes with a level of security. It also is cloud-based. This is all on 365. It goes onto the OneDrive, so it actually makes it so that there's a continuity of operation, and they all work symbiotically, if you will.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I understand it. I just don't understand the reasoning, but that's all right.
And I don't know that you can use Google as a commercial product. That's open to you as a person up to 15 gigs of storage, but an entity would have to pay for Google. It's not free to a commercial entity.
It's much cheaper, it's much cheaper than Microsoft.
I don't know that that's true.
Yeah, well, all right, thank you.
Any other questions from the council? All right, any questions from the public? All right, on to item 2.
Item 2 is a resolution authorizing the acting city manager to extend the current agreement with the Town of Hempstead Department of Sanitation STOP program.
So this has been a mutual agreement that we've had with the town of Hempstead since 1998, and it rolls forward each year. The cost here is based on the population of the city of Long Beach. We make up 7% of the population of the town of Hempstead. Therefore, we pay 7% of the cost for the program. There are actually 10 STOP programs throughout the town of Hempstead per year, and we even get one of them hosted here in the city of Long Beach every year, which is a nice benefit to us, and this is the cost of that particular program.
Okay, any questions from the council? Any from the public? Seeing none, on to item 3.
Item 3 is a resolution authorizing the acting city manager to purchase surf rake beach cleaning equipment for the beach maintenance department from the New York State sole source provider.
So our surf rakes, every few years, about every 3 years, need to go in for maintenance. What you have here is a listing of the actual equipment that needs to be purchased, and this is a sole source provider. The expertise to work on this particular piece of equipment is not something that our garage actually works on, and part of the listing here is also the labor fee to do this. and there was $8,178 that needed to be moved over into the account, or $19,000 that are already available, and this is basically coming from beach maintenance over to the garage repair line.
Okay. Go ahead.
Joe, you would be the one to ask, or Ron?
Depends on the question. What do you got?
Okay, first of all, which surf rake is this?
Oh, so we only have two. He wants to know which one, the actual, oh, it's both of them? Okay.
But, no, I mean, Barbara makes two different surf rakes, a 400 and a 600. Which one?
Oh, that I don't know.
Okay. And so, I noticed that we're asking for the same equipment, or mostly the same equipment for, I guess it's two different surf rakes. That and we redo both of them every 3 years?
Typically, yes.
There's no way to, so they're both down at the same time?
In the winter, though, yes.
Yeah. And I guess I don't like when I see a list of things and, I can't even look at what it's costing because I don't know, like, for example, you have a bearing sprocket, you have screws, studs, and stuff like that, but a lot of times they're defined. You have a quarter-inch screw or something like that. None of this is defined. This has come all from Barbara?
Correct.
Yes. So
It's all from the company that makes it, and it's sole source provision.
Well, I know it's sole source,
Can I?
which I never really...
may I?
Of course.
Joe, so when this says, just for example, 503J key, if I looked in the catalog from this company, I would see that, yes?
Correct, yes. It's
Thank
sole
you.
source from H. Barber and
So
Sons, correct.
perhaps, Roy, maybe
I
we can
did,
give Roy the
I did look
catalog.
for that, and I didn't. I went on their website.
Well, maybe we'll get you a catalog, and then you could look them up.
But we don't have the catalog. That's why I was looking on the website. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any questions from the public?
They could have different codes for municipal.
Seeing none, on to item 4.
Item 4 is a resolution to schedule a special meeting of the City Council on Monday, January 1st, 2024, at 12 o'clock noon.
So this is the meeting to swear in the new city council.
Any
questions?
questions from the council? Any from the public? Okay, on to item 5.
Item 5 is a resolution authorizing budget amendment to the general fund budget.
Okay, let me just get to item 5, sorry. Oh, so this is part of the CBA contracts. If you recall, when the contract was actually passed, we said there would be some cleanup, and when the exact cost of the related items in there was figured out, we would need to make smaller adjustments. This is just part of those adjustments, and I believe this will be the last adjustment that we have to make in regard to this. So we have completed the adjustments needed to be made. The PBA contract had effects on the CBA contract as well, so this just cleans up everything.
Okay, any questions from the council? Any from the public? Seeing none, on to item 6.
Item 6 is a resolution confirming the appointment of members to the Zoning Board of Appeals of the City of Long Beach.
Okay, I'd like to propose an amendment to this. In the paragraph that begins with Franklin Alvarado, after the 2026 date, I would like to insert after the comma, in place instead of the seat presently occupied by Esteban Acevedo. And in the next paragraph, also after the 2026 comma, in place instead of the seat presently occupied by Michael Leonetti. And then those same changes to be made in the 2 resolve clauses with their 2 names.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Postoli.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember McGinnis.
Yes.
Vice President Treston.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
Okay. So we're appointing 2 new members to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Currently, all 7 seats on the Zoning Board are open, meaning everybody's terms have expired. So we are making these appointments to 2 of the 7 seats. So any questions from the council? Any questions from the public? Mr. Hodge.
James Hodge, 95 East Fulton Street, here in our great city, from Mapleton, Nevada, from the bay to the ocean. How are you, sir? Welcome. What's your first name?
Stephen.
Stephen. Welcome. Good to see you here. Don't be nervous. I just wanted to say hi. That's it. But good to see you. I wanted to ask about the zoning board. I know that you currently had some diversity there also. It is not that we see much diversity throughout this city in top levels of administration or different committees, and so I asked that obviously the last 30 or more police officers that's been hired, there's not been one African-American police officer hired. There's one African-American police currently in the city of Long Beach out of about, I think it's 70, I'm not sure. So I just asked that as you are appointing, even in your last several days, because you're appointing tonight, I asked the new administration coming in, when you look at adding people to the whole city, and I'm not sure, it's just to ask. If you are doing it, thank you for what you've done, but we know we can always do better with allowing everyone to get a seat at the table so all voices across Long Beach is heard. And so again, I ask that this administration and the next administration coming in always look, of course, for the best professionals in every position, but also diversity. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a good
John, if
point,
I could
James. Thank you.
If I could just add one thing, too, before we close this. I just wanted to thank Mr. Acevedo, Mr. Leonetti for their service on the council. They both, on the board, zoning board, they served for many, many years, free of charge, dealing with a plethora of different issues that come up. It's a very difficult position to be in at time, and I just want to extend the city's thanks to them. So, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the public? All right, seeing none, on to item 7.
Item 7 is approval of minutes of prior meeting, December 5th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Postoli.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester. Yes. Councilmember McGinnis.
I just want to point out, I haven't received any information on the status of grant funding regarding volunteer firefighter ladder truck that was approved for $2 million, nor any reports on special events expenses. However, I will still say yes and vote yes for the minutes.
Vice President Treston.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Okay, on to the voting portion.
So before you do the voting portion, if I could just address what Ms. McGinnis just said. I did look into that. I probably should have included in the city manager's report. So the opportunity to put in for money prior to us ordering and after us ordering was not something that was completed by the prior leadership of that department. However, we are looking now, and I've worked with Tyler Hoffman on this, to identify grants that even post-ordering of the fire truck, we would qualify for some of those monies to pay for a portion up to $1 million of the ladder truck. Those grants do not become available for us to put in for again until about March. But marching orders have already been given to ensure that we put in for $1 million to go towards the cost of that ladder truck. So I apologize for not making that part of my actual city manager's report.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry about that, Dave.
Okay, on to the voting. Item 1 is a resolution authorizing the acting city manager to purchase software services under New York State contract and to transfer funds. Who introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Postoli.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
No.
Councilmember McGinnis.
Yes.
Vice President Treston.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Item 2 is a resolution authorizing the acting city manager to extend the current agreement with the Town of Hempstead Department of Sanitation Stop Program. Who introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Postoli.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember McGinnis.
Yes.
Vice President Treston.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Item 3 is a resolution authorizing the, the acting city manager to purchase Surf Rake beach cleaning equipment for the beach maintenance department from New York State sole source provider. Would you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Postoli.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
No.
Councilmember McGinnis.
Yes.
Vice President Treston.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Item 4 is a resolution to schedule a special meeting of the City Council on Monday, January 1st, 2024, at 12 o'clock noon. Introduce and move the adoption of this item.
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Postoli.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember McGinnis.
Yes.
Vice President Treston.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Item 5 is a resolution authorizing budget amendment to the general fund budget. Who introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Postoli.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember McGinnis.
Yes.
Vice President Treston.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
And item 6 is a resolution confirming the appointment of members of the Zoning Board of Appeals of the City of Long Beach. Who introduce and move the adoption of this item as amended?
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Postoli.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember McGinnis.
Yes.
Vice President Treston.
I too want to thank Mr. Esteban and Mr. Leonetti for their service to the city of Long Beach. I vote yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
City Manager's monthly personnel report has been filed by the city clerk, who will make a motion to close the meeting.
Before we close the meeting, I want to offer our outgoing council members the opportunity if they have anything they'd like to say.
Yes.
Anything?
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Thank you all, and it's actually hard to believe 2 years have gone by already. It's like a blink. Serving as a council member has really been an extraordinary privilege. In these 2 short years, I've worked hard for positive change alongside my fellow council members and this city's administration. We've tackled many challenges and celebrated successes together. I'm proud to have been part of the first women majority council in our city's history and of what I've brought to the table here. I am especially proud of being a part of moving forward over $200 million in infrastructure investments that will protect our most vulnerable neighborhoods from flooding and rid Reynolds Channel of decades of sewage pollution, as well as investments in public safety that have made Long Beach the 22nd safest city in the United States. And those are some really strong points said throughout the campaign, but that I believe should be reiterated this evening. Most of all, I want to express my heartfelt thanks to the incredible individuals who make up our community. And it will be very important going forward for our residents to become involved in council meetings and issues facing our city, so the perspectives and varied viewpoints of all people who make up our city are heard and represented. As I step aside, I extend my best wishes to Brendan Finn, Chris Fiamara, and Mike Reinhardt. We are all neighbors, and I offer my full support for the betterment of our city. And for the past 5 years, I've served our community on the school board and then on the city council. And this work is in the very fabric of who I am. I will continue to be highly involved in our city's government and community. And thank you for the honor of allowing me to be a part of this significant chapter in our community's history. I wish everyone a wonderful holiday season and a happy, healthy 2024.
Good evening, everyone. Of course, I'm not really good about bragging about myself because I'm not a politician, so I'll get straight to business. I would like these 3 reports letters to be added to the minutes for this meeting with the hope that the new council members will read them. What? The first is the December 2019 New York State Office of the Comptroller, Division of Local Government and School Accountability Report of Examination of the City of Long Beach to see what past city councils did not do as part of their fiduciary responsibility. The second is the fund balance policy, recommended an unassigned fund balance across the general, water, and sewer funds of at least 5% of normal year expenditures, which for this current budget year would be in the neighborhood of $6 million. The third is the audit management letter dated March 23, 2023, communication of matters related to internal control over financial reporting and other matters. There's going to be a new letter coming out this March which the new council will have to sign off on. At that time, there was a significant deficiency regarding the year-end close process. There were also internal control deficiencies and other matters, all repeat comments from prior audits. One regarding the STOA rider tracking program, which is a bus system. Another one regarding the payroll time entry process, which is by paper, I think, and the capital asset tracking system. For the next part of my comments, I want to thank the residents who elected me, as well as my friends and family who have supported me over the past long 4 years, of which, as John mentioned earlier, this time 4 years ago, I didn't know what COVID was. I didn't know I'd be facing the highest rate of inflation in 40 years. In the past 4 years that I've been in office, this administration has been more productive versus other councils for the past several decades. And this council, while I've been on it for the past 4 years, will be more impactful for decades to come because of the tough decisions that we made. So it doesn't say that you have to be in office long to really make an impact. You just have to do the job. With that said, I wish that my prior council members had left me a general fund balance of over $12 million, but they left me $285,000. So with that said, I wish the incoming council members the best of luck. And despite not being born here, I've lived here for more than half my life, or over half my life. And I want people to know that Long Beach will always include everybody, regardless of your sex, your gender, whether you're straight, gay, bi, questioning, whatever. No matter what your religion is, no matter who you are, you're welcome in Long Beach, and this community will always accept whoever wants to come here. Thanks to the residents. Good night.
Okay, Phyllis, is my microphone okay? I find this moment bittersweet. Thank you to my family and my friends for putting things on hold so that I could give my all to the city. I am thankful to the residents of the City of Long Beach that have given me this very unique opportunity to serve the public in a very different way. I've been criticized for saying I am not a politician, too. That's okay. I've learned on day one, criticism comes with this position. I was told not to take things personally. I am not a politician, so I did take everything personally. When things did not go the way that you wanted them to go, I took home that burden that I had failed you. I was told not to take things personally, but I did. That's who I am. There have been many highlights in my 4 years here, and because I am not a politician, you may not have known about the families that I helped. The families on the edge of a cliff. There are no pictures of these events because I'm not a politician. You may have not known the hours, weeks, and months that I fought for individuals that live in our city. Because these residents are not loud, they do not scream about injustices that are simply non-existent. They are our neighbors that go through human frailties and need help, which gratefully I was able to provide. Tonight I want us to able to remember that we are a giving and a kind community. During my term of office, we have lost young people to tragedy and to illness. We come together in our vigils and in our grief. Being a council person has given me the opportunity to sit with families in their most dire sadness. It has allowed me to be a quiet advocate for the many that grieve, and I express my deepest appreciativeness to them and will continue to remember the lives of those gone too soon. I know that I will not forget how hard it is to work for the City of Long Beach. No matter what position you hold, the responsibility of keeping a city running is not something you are going to be thanked for often. Tonight, I want to make sure that every single employee in the city knows how much I appreciate them. Employees went above and beyond during the pandemic. It seems so long ago that we were wearing masks, sanitizing elevator buttons, and making sure our employees and residents remained healthy. Thank you for your patience during that very difficult time, and again, know that you are valued. The City of Long Beach has a tremendous administrative staff. While waiting at an office to speak with a department head, a phone call came in from a resident complaining that there was seaweed on the beach. The conversation exchange was an example of the professionalism that your city now has. Instead of rolling eyes and shaming, there was an excellent answer that yes, indeed, we do clean up seaweed, and the crews would be down. There is a reason for that, and I found out there's a reason for most things, and a new appreciation for once again for those of you that put the City of Long Beach first. I hope that the foundation and the policies that we put in place will prevent falling backwards. You all deserve an efficient and operational community. I want to acknowledge our first responders always. I want to thank the lifeguards for giving MacGyver a cool place to stay when I did speeches in a heat wave. Tonight, I especially want to highlight our Long Beach Auxiliary Police Department. They are a volunteer organization that many of our residents think are paid employees. They are not. They are at every event in the heat, in the rain, in the snow, and currently they are looking for recruits. Give Captain Anna a call. Not only is she an excellent leader, she makes a damn good rainbow cookie. Finally, I want to be able to thank all of our nonprofits in our city. It was truly my pleasure to be able to attend your events, hand out well-deserved citations, sponsor your various outings, and at one or two of them, sing at the top of my lungs, in the rain, under a leaky tent, drinking whiskey with new and old friends. Thank you all. Be kind.
Sean, if I can have a word. Sure. I want to thank the three of you for the last 2 years that I've been up here. Nobody who's not on the council can understand how much work goes into it. And you guys were unbelievable. I mean, it was nonstop. Karen, I don't know how you kept a job, the same with Tina. And Liz, I don't know how you continued to do all the things that you were doing. And we're going to really miss your organization,
Oh, Roy.
Liz.
You have no idea how much you're going to miss me.
Oh, I think I do. But, you know, people undersell that, how much work this is, because they just don't understand. And you know what? Unfortunately, we don't get a sheet of paper saying, oh, this is what we have to vote on. We get a sheet of paper with 100 pages of backup. And you're expected to read those backups. And, you know, it takes a lot of time, and you guys have been great about that, But the one thing I have to say about the three of you is, and I know you all well, it's never about your own gain. Never. Not once. It's always about what's best for the city. We might not agree on what's best for the city, but it's always what's best for the city and for the people of the city. And I really want to thank you for that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we close it.
Okay. Do I have a motion to close?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second. Third.
Okay. Voting, Councilmember Postoli.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember McGinnis.
I was going to do that too. You can do it too.
Yes.
Vice President Treston.
For former Councilman Mike DeLorean, the audience, I'm just going to wait a second. Yes.
President Bendo.
All right, I guess if we're all doing shtick, I'll do something I haven't done in 3 years as president. I'll use the gavel for the first time.
Oh, yay!
Yes, and the meeting is closed. Okay, now we'll do good and welfare. So on the odd chance it's somebody's first time, you get 3 minutes. Okay. And first up tonight is Linda Giles.
Good evening. Is this on? My name is Linda Giles from Long Beach. Hello?
It's on.
Okay. Liz, this is also bittersweet for me and for many of my friends. But we would like to thank the council for their many achievements which have benefited our community. And to Councilwoman McGinnis, Councilwoman Treston, and Councilwoman Postoli, we are grateful for your dedication and service and unwavering support for the residents of Long Beach. This council has changed the way business is done. Honesty and transparency have been your guiding force. Please know that we wish you well and know that you will stay involved in the future of our city. Thank you so much.
Thank you. James Kirkland.
Jim Garkland, Long Beach, New York. I came up here to say some things, but John pretty much stole all my thunder at the beginning of this meeting. I wanted to say what a wonderful job you all had done and, you know, sort of go through the same list. But he did bring up something that I thought was very important. I've been attending these meetings for decades, and I know that during that process, I've learned a lot just by being here. And you come into the city and you come into these meetings thinking you know everything, but you soon learn that you really know nothing. And I think one of the things that John said is really something that began all of this association. It began with things like iStar, and prior to that, you know, I think there was the LNG, the liquid natural gas terminals that they wanted to build here, and some of the other things, as John mentioned, going towards this time in our lives. And I think that's what makes good council people, because you live through all of these issues and you learn that what's important, what's not important, and what's required to get things changed or done that you may think that you already knew how to do it. And I think that's the biggest mistake any new people can make, is coming into this sort of a situation thinking they have all the answers. Before they learn how to run, they've got to learn how to walk or crawl through this system, which is not like being in a business where there's CEOs and there's various department heads, and they all have various levels of power. Here, you've working with people that are in a union which has its own structure, and then you have the non-exempts, and then you have the outside people that you have to contend with. And so all of this makes working up there so much more difficult. So many people think the council has all the power. But the city manager has a great deal of power also. The council is predominantly a policymaker and an issue an analyzer. But it's the city manager that basically enforces everything. And so it's not a simple one-on-one kind of a situation. So anyway, I wish you all the best of luck going forward in whatever you're going to continue to do. And I'm so appreciative that I've had the opportunity to get to know all of you, and look forward to seeing you on the outside of this building, as we navigate through town. So many happy holidays to you both, and congratulations on all the work you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mindy Dovberg. First time in a while for you.
Hello. I have a couple of things I want to say. First of all, hi, Ron Walsh. I'm Mindy Dovberg. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Mindy.
So I haven't been here since before the pandemic. I've been watching online, and it has been so incredible to watch the three of you as women being so powerful. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Watching at home during all this time was just really incredible. So thank you, Tina. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Liz. One of the reasons why I came here today is because I've been going into the ocean every single day. And I found this beautiful artist on the beach that is making these gorgeous sculptures with driftwood. And I posted it the other day on Facebook, and I found out the artist's name is John Mandera. And I also found out through the moms of 11561 that there is something going on with the CSEA or the beach maintenance people that are telling him he cannot do this. And I would like to implore, this is not the summer season, it is winter. There's very little people on the beach. It is a beautiful sculpture. And I'd like to advocate for that. I know that Mr. Walsh was just saying that they're getting you guys just did a new proposition for the rake. And I understand from going to the beach every single day, those rakes make it much easier for me to walk. So I just think that maybe they could just go around his sculptures and let nature, let that ocean take it away, as opposed to, I think there's like a 24-hour time limit someone gave him, that they will be knocking them down.
I'm unfamiliar with what you're actually talking about.
Okay.
I can tell you that the winter time is the time where there's a lot of the reconstruction preparation for next year's summer. I know that even after the actual storm that we just had a day and a half ago, or a day ago now,
right.
We had some major waves coming up there. There's erosion. There's a lot of things that take place, and there's bulldozers and tractors and all sorts of stuff that are on that beach all winter long, preparing ourselves for the next summer. So I'm not really familiar with the sculpture that you're talking about right now.
I see the beach maintenance people every single day. They're picking up the driftwood and they're doing it. This gentleman is actually doing their job and then making a sculpture. And they always are going around certain things. I just think that they could leave it there and let the ocean take it away.
I don't know.
I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's the CSEA, beach maintenance. I don't know if they're the same people.
Mindy, it would help if you send us pictures, because
I
none of us know what
will definitely send you a picture,
talking.
but it's just on his Facebook page that the city is trying to stop him
the
from
mom's
doing
page?
it. No, from this gentleman's page, John Mandera.
John is an excellent artist, but he also recognizes that his work is very temporary, as many nature artists, as you're an artist yourself, know.
Right.
So they're big pieces of art. And I'm going to put my Tommy Canner hat on because he's not here. And I just know that if the rake has to go through that might cause more damage. So those are things that they have to look at. And I think that John can talk to Tommy and maybe they could work something out.
Okay, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that the rake should go through it. I was just saying that they go around things all the time that,
Not
you
being
know.
familiar with what
I will send
you're
you guys
talking
an
about, or
email, no
even the
question.
size of these things, it sounds like they're relatively large. And
It is
I will say
relatively
this,
large.
that anything that's get erected on that beach, once we and our staff know about it, it becomes our liability if somebody does get hurt with it, too.
Okay.
So there are a lot of different things that come into play. I understand the beauty portion that you're talking about
Yeah.
here, but there's a lot of other considerations for something like this, so I would probably say to you that it's out of an abundance of caution that they're removing these things.
Okay.
So, I mean, just not knowing, but if they're the size that I'm imagining,
Yeah, they're
it's
pretty big.
at least
Yeah.
bigger than me.
We're not
You
being
know.
mean.
I
Yeah.
understand.
It's not
I just
about
figured
not wanting to have a beautiful piece of sculpture, you know.
Yes.
But
How
it-
many of them, Mindy?
I don't know. I see it on Laurelton, but I understand it's on Neptune, and I think there's one on the west end, so.
I'm just imagining a piece of wood and someone buying, then a kid goes, he pushes it, and the piece of wood knocks a kid on the head, and God forbid, you know.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm imagining in my mind,
Okay.
you know. But I'm a sort of
Well, I
a
stand 5'10".
a risk
It's
assessor,
really
you know.
not as tall as, it's low to the ground. But it's,
I don't know.
it's beautiful, so.
That's
all.
my photos.
Thank you. I will definitely send you guys an email. Thank you.
Yeah, wait.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking at it, yeah. It's
Are you
really
looking
cool.
at it?
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is really cool. It's balancing. It's really cool. So,
Thank you, Mindy.
Thanks, Mindy.
Okay, James Hodge.
Yep. 95 East Fulton Street in our great city from Mapleton, Nevada. From the bay to the ocean, I just wanted to stand and thank all of you that will be parting ways. Tina, Liz, and Karen, thank you for being a driving force, Karen, and all of you. Thank God for the opportunity and the work that you have been able to complete in the midst of, me constantly coming to get on your nerves. Thank you. I will continue to come here and fight no matter which party is in and no matter who's in, as I have done for over 2 decades. I will continue to come and work on different things on behalf of our city and make sure that every part of the city has a say-so in being represented and being cared about equally. Also, thank you for the diligent work you did working on the bulkhead, as Crystal Lake was a leading and driving force in that. And it took the city to do what they needed to do, as Long Island Railroad did what they did. But however, it is being built. Thanks, Joe. And again, thanks, Crystal Lake. And thank you, Ron. And also, as I always say, one of the things as a former board member and a volunteer of the Martin Luther King Center, the MLK Center is in eviction court. It's a small non-for-profit. This administration have a right to do what is right. As Martin Luther King daughter always say, and Martin Luther King, it's always right to do what is right. It's always time to do what is right. And so you still have time to take that organization out of eviction court and work with them directly. Also, thank you to the auxiliary police officers, which I was one, and the volunteer fire department. The volunteers of our city, thank you for the great job that you do. In this last meeting, again, I come with thank yous to the city manager, to the corporation council that you represent. Thank you, guys. Roy, thank you. John, thank you. And the IT questions, if you did not know, Dave is an expert IT person, which when I worked for the city, he was the brainiac IT person, and he still has all of that knowledge. So again, thank you all. Thank you to the great city workers, CSEA workers, and our hourlies. Just thank you. And I'm grateful to live here in our city. And you mentioned COVID. I would like to thank God for the work that I was able to lead also through COVID, having the largest distribution in the city of Long Beach at the Martin Luther King Center, feeding over 300 people a day. So again, thank you, God bless you, and I pray for the incoming city council. God bless you all.
Thank you.
No, you get it, Denise.
Denise Ford.
Good evening, Denise Ford, Ohio Avenue. I just came up here to extend my gratitude and thanks to Tina, Karen, and Liz for their service to the city. I know that you did your best that you could in helping the city tackle some of the problems that we faced and everything. So I really appreciate all that you've done, and I wish you well in your future endeavors. And Liz, I think future events, they will be sunny, and if they're not, we're going to get a newer and bigger tent, okay, so that you will be protected. But in all honesty, I wish you all a good holiday. And once again, to the three of you, I know you'll be leaving, and I wish you a lot of luck in whatever you choose to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Denise, just wanted to say thank you again for your service as well.
You're welcome. I appreciate it. And I have to say, it was a pleasure working with all of you. Thank you.
Okay. Tim Kramer.
Hi, Tim Kramer, 361 East Broadway. First of all, Tina, Liz, and Karen, thank you for your service. Not an easy job. City appreciates all your time and effort for sure. Mr. Walsh, is the city in the process buying a new vehicle for you?
No.
No? Black Suburban RST, no?
Nope.
I'm here to tell you, you got a twin brother out there somewhere, because
They're not buying a vehicle for me in any way, shape, or form. I don't need
is the
one.
city buying a black Suburban RST?
Yeah, we bought three of them, actually. A Suburban? No, not a Suburban.
no.
No, we actually bought Tahoes that are being outfitted for patrol right now.
And are those the three that are being outfitted with the, because the last meeting, there was a resolution that,
Yeah, they're being outfitted with,
so that 46
Commander
some odd $1,000 that was passed last meeting?
$1,000?
46, there was a total of $46,000 for.
That was for the outfitting of the vehicles to get the paint. It was all reviewed last meeting. It was to do the painting of the doors, the graphics that go on the doors, the light package, the radio mounting, all of the electronic equipment that goes in, as well as the computer systems that go into. There's a lot that gets put in for the three vehicles. Yes.
Got it. So I'm just curious. The one time I spoke about the Suburban, I checked that the Silverado, the black Silverado, member, it was for $64,000. So why wasn't that light and siren upfitter package, pieced out of the price of the $64,000?
That one had it included. This one didn't. This one came from upstate. In a place in Albany. The last vehicle, I believe, didn't come from upstate. It came from a more local, but I'd have to look at it.
So
I don't really know.
every service vehicle, if you will, is a little bit different in how it's packaged with the lights and sirens.
They're all different. They're all done according to what they're. So the last one, the pickup truck that you're referring to, actually went to the deputy inspector in the police department, whose vehicle was 2010 Dodge Ram pickup truck, I believe.
So when we bought it, it already had it on there, so therefore the price was the
It was included in the bid. These, it wasn't included in the bid. They were bid separately.
Got it. Okay. All right. Thank you again for all your service.
Sure.
Okay. Eileen Hession.
Eileen Hession, Long Beach. Karen, Liz, and Tina, I would list all of your accomplishments, but I think John and several other people did a good job of that. But I want to thank you for that. But more, I want to thank you for your courage. I think it takes a lot of courage just to step up and run for city council. And it takes courage to make decisions for your neighbors and friends sometimes unpopular decisions, and yet you did them for the good of the city. And I think everything you've done was for the good of the city. I hope you'll continue to attend meetings and add your experience and intelligence to what goes on at our meetings. You can join me and my buddies. We're here every meeting. And just to let you know that you will be missed by very many people in this city. Thank you very much for all that you've done.
Thank you.
Okay, Mike DeLaurie.
They saved the best for last.
Mike DeLaurie, Long Beach. I will keep it short, and I just want to first start by thanking Joe Fabrizio on behalf of the West Home and Walk Civic Association. Joe and D&B engineers and a lot of the people that went into setting this meeting up on December 6th that was attended by, I guess, close to 70 people. It was filled at the VFW. And Joe, on behalf of many people, thank you for that. Thank you. To Karen and Liz, who I served on this council for 2 years, and along with John, Tina and Roy, I didn't have the pleasure of serving with you. Dave, tried and true through every meeting. A lot of challenges. I saw Dave the other night. We talked about setting up meetings during COVID and Zoom and WebEx, and we still talk about doing that, and you did it remarkably well. What struck me tonight is the numbers that Karen pointed out. Is I think I can say many of you did not want to run. Simple as that. And you did. We had about $300,000 in the bank where we should have had close to $5 million. Simple as that. It'd be modest to say mismanagement, but I'm not going to say that. I'll just say that through your guidance and working together, you really have put this city in a much better financial footing. I want to also thank Denise Ford for her 20 years of service and her sense of humor. You'll see Denise also out in her auxiliary service. She's out in Stop and Shop with the Ladies Auxiliary. So she's part of the fabric of the community. And that's what makes this city the best that it is. Because one person told me, and I think it was Harvey Wiesenberg or somebody else that said, we could fight each other all the time. But when you come over the bridge, others from over the bridge don't want to fight about Long Beach people. Let us fight ourselves, and let us make this place a better place, because it will. You can disagree on how to do things, but in the end, I think the results of a better community are indicative of what you have done. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd just like to close out the meeting myself. I wanted to let everybody in the public say what they had to say, but I'd like to thank Karen, Liz, and Tina, not only for their service, but Karen and Liz, I want to thank you for the role that you played in actually bringing me here to the city as your police commissioner. Liz and Tina, very pragmatic points of view, always trying to parse through and get to the common sense of an issue. Karen's always drilling to try and find better ways to make the systems of the city better. And I have to say, in my time up here and over the last year for the city council, there was never any selfishness on any part of anybody here up on the council, especially the three of you. And everything was always done, like everybody else who has said out here in the audience, to make the city a better place. And I also believe that for the incoming people, that they're just trying to make the city a better place. Everybody has different opinions, and the public has spoken, but that should in no way make you feel diminished on the role that you played in putting your stamp and your mark on this city and helping make Long Beach the special place that it is. So thank you.
And I'd just like to say we have two of our incoming council members and our incoming county legislator in the room right now. They're taking requests starting tonight, so, you know,
Wave.
so you can talk, wave so everyone knows where to come. And we've already been bringing them up to speed on issues and conferring with them on issues. So everybody can hit the ground running in January. And we're looking forward to continuing the good work that's been going on with our new teammates. So I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year. Have a safe holiday, whether you are traveling or staying or whether you're with family, friends. Have a safe and blessed holiday, and we will see you all in January.
Nope out.
You get it? You know you know. Where's your tiara? You got it. I don't have the candelabra is not mine.